Okay, hi guys. Welcome to our team call. It's Monday night, Team Boss Babes. I'm so excited to have my dear friend Lauren on the call tonight. Lauren and I actually got to present together at the Diamond Retreat in November in Philadelphia for Team Rockstar Fit. If you weren't there, you missed it. And put down on your notebook right now, I will never miss another Diamond Retreat from this day forward. I'll be at every Diamond Retreat from here on out. Because one, it's so incredible to go to live events, like just the power that live events have. I can't really explain it. You have to be there to know it. And you'll never regret investing in yourself and investing in your business. And being able to meet people in real life and be able to touch them instead of seeing them through a screen. It's like, whoa, it's always like, whoa, I feel like I know you because of social media, right? But it gives you a chance to actually get to know people and feel a part of something that's really special. And so whenever you're feeling like you're not a part of something really special, it's because you're not leaning into the team. You're not showing up on calls. You're not showing up in the team page. You're not showing up for your business. Always Molly with some little fucking comment. Okay. So you want to be at live events. Okay. They are amazing. So a little backstory to the presentation Lauren and I are going to do for you tonight is we got on a Zoom with Trina and the elite coaches to talk about what she wanted us to present in Philly. Well, Lauren and I hopped on before anybody else. And we're just kind of chit-chatting, and I could tell that Lauren was feeling a little down. And in that moment, I was feeling a little down too. And we kind of got to talking, and then everyone else jumped on, so we didn't really get to finish our conversation. And probably a week later, I was just sitting here in my office chair right here, kind of just like staring at my computer. I like have this thing where I log into my back office, like something's gonna change, like my rank or something's gonna change, like from the morning it was going to be different. That doesn't happen, but I do it all the time, like, oh, maybe maybe somebody went diamond. And so I just picked up my phone and I text Lauren and I was like, hey, I could tell you're feeling kind of down. I'm feeling kind of down too. Do you want to hop on a Zoom and be accountability buddies until the end of the year and just, see what we can do? Because I know we have similar goals and I'd like to have someone to push with. And she's like, yeah, I'd actually love that. And honestly, I was so afraid that she was going to be like, no, you're too loud. You're too weird. I'm like quiet and nice and I can't be with you. But she was super nice. And she was like, hell yeah, let's do it. So we hopped on a Zoom and we started talking about year-end goals and what we wanted to accomplish. And she's like, okay, so I think I'm going to send 50 invites a day. And I was like, well, fuck, I obviously have to send 50 invites a day too, because I'm not going to be like, okay, it's good for you, but I'm not going to do that. And so all of this we started in October. So the end of October and November, we started sending out 50 invites a day and messaging each other each day, like screenshots or pictures of our invites or tally marks or whatever we did. I write down the name, she does little tally marks. And we would send them to each other to keep each other accountable. And, if I was feeling down, I could text her. If she was feeling down, she could text me. And obviously, we're not like official success partners by any means. Like we work with other coaches, but it was just nice to have somebody that was feeling the same way and has been in the same place, because we were both premier coaches for 2019 and just feeling like things hadn't turned out the way that we were hoping 2019 would turn out. And so it was really nice to lean into each other and push each other to go further than we thought we could. So Lauren is going to kick it off, but that's kind of how this all got started. And so I just want you to really hear that you don't have to send 50 invites a day. That's not what this call is about. This call is about pushing yourself past your comfort zone and whatever that is for you. Obviously, Lauren and I are star diamond coaches. We're premier coaches. Like we are at a certain level and we're trying to get to an even higher level in our business for our families, for our income, and for our future and things like that. If you're a day one coach, I don't expect you to send 50 invites. If you're trying to get to Emerald, I don't expect you to send 50 invites. So whatever your goals are, please listen with those ears on I don't want you to shut your brain off and say, well, I can't send 50 invites a day, so this call's not for me. This call's for everybody. Like Kayla literally signed up like 2 days ago. So obviously I don't expect Kayla to send 50 invites tonight, okay? But I know that there's some of you on here that are shooting for big things, and maybe your goal is 20, maybe your goal is 50. It depends, right? So everybody is gonna look different, but for Lauren and I, our number was 50.
Awesome. Okay, I just have to say, I'm so happy that you have a new coach on here, because then it kind of helps scale it a little bit. And Danny and I have had this conversation so many times about, man, imagine if we would have started this 4 years ago. Like, and we wouldn't have started at 50, but imagine if we had some sort of metric and some sort of action that we stuck to consistently. Because we hear that we're supposed to do the vital behaviors, but how many times are you like consistently doing them, tracking them, and collecting data on it? And that's the thing, looking at it, you own a business. And it makes me so sad to think tomorrow is my 5-year coaching anniversary, and I've never collected data on anything except for Success Club points. I'm pretty sure they send those to you in your email like every 6 months, semi-annually, and update you. So looking at this, I'm like, okay, well, everything connects back to your why. And that's like, you can stay stagnant, you can stay stuck if you don't have a reason to keep moving forward. So for me right now, I keep putting it out into the universe. I'm going to be debt-free by the end of next year. And that's what gets me to do those 50 invites every day. That's what gets me to track my conversations and use a spreadsheet, even though I hate doing it. It takes time. It takes a lot of consistency and a lot of just being so determined and having so much grit, because this business has so many highs and lows. So I just kind of wanted to report on the data. So like I said, I've never tracked anything like this before. So Danny and I started, it was like mid to late October. And I tracked that I sent out 751 invites. And looking at that number, I'm like, holy cow, like I've never sent out that many in a full month. Like, that's insane. In November, I sent out over 1,400. Okay. In October, I didn't sell any challenge packs. In November, I sold one. In October, I had one new customer. In November, I had 4. This is the part that I love the most, okay? In October, I added 51 people to my email list, or my tracking list, people to follow up with. In November, I had 108. So those numbers of growth didn't grow that much. Like, I didn't help that many more people in the course of 6 weeks. But the thing is like, I was feeling defeated on the last day of November, thinking like, man, I've worked my tail off. Like, I deserve success. I should have hit like at least SC10. I've been grinding away, doing so much more than what I was normally doing. But I have to remind myself of where this is taking me, and remind myself that right now I'm pumping the well. And sometimes it takes a lot of work to get water to come out of that well. And for this business, it's about a 3-month process. So are you willing to pump the well for how many invites is your goal? Are you willing to pump the well for 3 months for pennies, so that someday it gets you closer to what your goal is? Because for me, that's the thing that's always carried me in this, is I've always had vision. I've always had so much belief that this was going to take me somewhere if I did something with it and didn't just sit on it. And so that day that Danny messaged me, it made me so happy, because I was so upset because I wasn't at leadership. But I knew I didn't deserve to be there this year because I didn't pump the well. So every day that 50 invites, even if it's not perfect, I want to pump the well. I want to be the person that has grit, and I want to look back in 5 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and know I earned it myself. I put the work in.
Heck yeah. So during our talk at the Diamond Retreat, we had only had 10 days of data. So at that point, we had sent 500 invites, and Lauren had signed up 4 customers or helped 4 people get started in some way, whether, they got active or whatever. Like she said, no challenge packs. So I'm guessing when a lot of you heard that, you were like, well, I'm assuming your thoughts weren't positive. And so what I shared in my talk is I sent 500 invites and I hit Success Club 38 in October. But of the 500, I signed up 14 people. Are you willing to send 500 invites to help 14 people? Or are you going to stop at 50 because you didn't help anybody? Or are you going to stop at 100 because you didn't help anybody? Because I have to say that it was not the first 2 or 3 days that I helped those 14. We were doing it for 2 or 3 days, 4 or 5 days, maybe before I even got my first yes. And not everybody responds on the first day. So some people I messaged on the first day didn't respond until 10 days later. You know what I mean? So are you willing to do that? And for most people, the answer is no. And that's okay. But what Lauren and I are trying to show you is if you're willing to say yes and just do the work without expecting results, you're going to get them. That's just going to be a byproduct of your hard work. And so something I've been trying to talk about for the last month or two is being happy and proud of the action, not the results that are coming. Because it's the action that's going to turn you into the person that you need to become to make this business a success. Everybody on this call can be successful in this business, and whatever that level of success looks like for you, that looks like for you. Y'all know me, like, I want it all. I want the money, I want the freedom, I want the name and lights, I want the stage, I want the flags, I want it all, right? Like Lauren's like, I want to be debt free and be able to be, wherever Kenzie needs me to be, all her appointments, pay for her medical things that she needs. Like that's, her, and be able to drink her beer whenever she wants, right? Like that's Lauren. She wants those things, right? So I don't know if she wants the stage, like I want the stage, right? But I want all of that. So my work is going to look different than maybe yours is, who's like, I just want an extra $500 a month for breathing room, right? Like the work is going to look a little bit different. But what I'm saying is by helping 14 people with Challenge Pack, that's over $700. So if you knew that if you sent 500 invites, you could make $700, like there's not a person on this fucking call that couldn't use an extra $700. Because I asked in a text thread with some of my coaches, what would you guys do if you got $100 free and clear? Someone walked up to you and handed, hey, here you go, Merry Christmas. You do whatever you want with it. Every single one said I would pay bills. Nobody was going to do anything fun with that money. And that tells me that our team needs more money. So are you willing to send that without the expectation, but knowing that most likely that will happen, right? If you have all these other things in place. If you don't post on social media, if you don't do your workouts, those invites don't mean anything, right? But if you have all those vital behaviors in place and then you're willing to go that extra mile, and again, the 500 invites is just an arbitrary number. I would love to tell you, you send that, you'll get that every single time. It's not the case, right? It depends on the month, depends on how consistent you've been. You know what I mean? You could send 500 and sign up 50 people. Like, how cool would that be? Dang, hot dang. Good month, right? but you could send out 500 and sign up one. It, there's a lot that goes into it. But are you willing to just keep inviting until you get those yeses, knowing that eventually the dam will break? It has to.
Totally. And I just want to say too, like another piece of like mindset with this is it's really, really easy to focus on how many people are ghosting you, how many people have flat out said no thanks, or just no in general. It's so easy to focus on that. But when I look at my numbers, my focus is on, in the last 7 weeks, over 2,000 people asked for info who have never reached out to me before. That's a lot of people that were too nervous, maybe just didn't know if it was for them. That's a lot of people who now I have them on my list and I can help support them when they're ready. Focus on that.
Yeah. So again, our job is to help people, but we get so discouraged if somebody doesn't want our help that then we're like, and then all of that goes out the window, right? And like, because that's not a strong enough why. To just want to help people is not a strong enough why to keep you going when you send 50 invites and get no responses. Just wanting to help people is not enough when you put out a poll and 700 people see it and nobody takes it. That's not going to keep you going. Because like she said, it's so easy to focus on what's not happening or who's not responding, but they're still watching every single day, right? Like how fucking annoying, right? But they're interested in you. So you just keep showing up being the best you, and you stop worrying about who's watching. You stop worrying about who isn't doing what on the team because they joined your team. So they're obviously interested in you. They obviously want to support you. Your followers obviously want to support you in some way, whether that's just by double tapping a photo or by watching your story every day. They're interested in you in some way, and that should make you feel good. Because people are interested to see what you have to say or what you're doing or what your post is going to be for the day, right? But we put all these expectations on, well, the same 80 people watch my story every single day and they're not signing up. Okay, go fucking find new people. Stop focusing on this ad because there's no shortage of people. Like, I had a girl one time who'd never even hit Success Club tell me she exhausted her warm market. I said, you know 2 people? Pretty sure you don't. Pretty sure you know more, okay? You'll never exhaust your warm market. Never, ever, ever, ever. Why? Because your warm market will never be 100% yes. So you'll never exhaust your warm market. But let's say your warm market's pretty small. Okay, go start building a different one. No one's stopping you from doing that. Your ego is stopping you from doing that. Because, oh, it's weird or it's creepy. How did you get the warm market you currently have? At some point, you were strangers. So every friend that you have in your life was a stranger at some point. So just go make some new friends. There's more people out in the world. Like, look at this call. I would say more than half of us have never met in real life. We were all strangers at one point, and now we're friends, and now we're little squares on a call, right? So there's so much that we could be doing, but we put all of our focus on the wrong things, okay? Like the action should make you feel proud. And Bree says it best, and I say this almost every single fucking call, I swear. You never feel bad about your business when you're actually doing the things that are supposed to move your business forward. You only feel bad about your business when you're not. That is the only time, because when you're not inviting, you start telling yourself, well, nobody wants to sign up. Well, who have you fucking asked to sign up? Of course nobody wants to sign up. You haven't asked anyone to sign up. So then you ask 3 people and they ignore you, and then you're like, I knew it. I was right. If I only asked 3 people to sign up this month, I would have nobody. No one would sign up. No matter how freaking cute you are, no matter how fit you are, no matter how consistent you are on your social media, it doesn't matter if you're not asking people to sign up. My husband said this to me the other night, and it was so good. I just died laughing. He was like, if you don't ASK, you don't GET. I was like, that's fucking awesome. I was like, God dang. That's why I make the big bucks, right? Okay. So if you're not asking people to join you, they're not going to just come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, Danny Dettra, I'd love for you to change my life. No. I was talking to McKenna earlier today, and she's like, I just am getting so many objections. I said, you will get objections no matter what business you're in or what product you're selling. No matter what. I said, how long did it take for me to get you to sign up? She was like, did take a while. I said, yep, takes everyone a while. Okay? So however long you watched or however many times you got asked, know that's your threshold. There's coaches on the team that watched me for 4 years. Nobody on the team was a yes. Yep, I'm in. Nobody. I got to think someone like that's pretty weird, right? Like you're just all in, like you don't know anything. Like those are the real weirdos, okay? So people are going to need to watch you. They're going to need to see what you're doing. They're going to have to fall in love with who you are, and then they'll want to join you because they'll like you, and then they'll like what you're doing, and they'll like what it's doing for you. But if they can't see themselves in you, it's either because you don't ever talk on your stories or you don't show up consistently, so they can't count on you. People are on social media to follow people. If you're not giving them a reason to follow you, they won't. There's too much noise out there. There's too many other coaches for them to follow if you're not going to show up. They don't need to waste your time. And it's literally this easy to get you out of their feed. So give them a reason to show up. And then you just are ruthless in pursuit of whatever your goals are. Like when girls are like, I hope to go into 2020 at Emerald Coach. I'm like, you think it's going to take you fucking 30 days to find 2 people? There's 2 people in your house you could sign up. Okay? Like, come on. Like, if you want it bad enough, you will make it happen, right? Whatever it is. Success Club, frickin' Emerald, whatever your goal is, if you want it badly enough, you'll make it happen. And I swear, I read a lot of books to Chloe. I swear every children's book is like a professional development book. Like I'm reading her this Ariel book right now. And she says, when I want something bad enough, I don't give up. She's like, I traded my voice to the sea witch because I wanted to be a human. I'm like, fucking shit. Like, God, if Ariel is going to give up her voice for some legs, you can hit Success Club. Like, I mean, like there's not, if you want something bad enough, you will just do it. It's the end of the story, right? Like, I play Pokemon on my phone. I'm like a level 36 trainer. That has taken some hard work because I want to catch all the Pokemon. So I put in the time to catch Pokemon. So please don't tell me that if you want something, you can't do it, because I'll make time to play this stupid fucking game and I'm 35 years old. Like, what am I doing with my life? But I make the time for this because I want to do it. So if you want to build a business, you will. You're choosing not to, and then you're letting all these other voices and all this other bullshit fill your head. But the truth is, there's someone out there who has it worse than you that is still building their business and being more successful than you. And that's the cold, hard truth. Like, Katie on our team, like, anytime someone gives me an excuse, I'm like, no. Katie has walked through freaking hell and back, and she's here every Monday. Even on night she's throwing up, she's here because she wants this, because it's important to her. And other people are like, oh, I'm tired. You don't fucking want this. Like, get the hell out of here. It's 1 hour a week. You're going to be tired every day anyways, right? Raise your hand if you've ever woke up and you haven't been tired. Never. Every fucking day we're tired. Okay? And Katie's always here. And when she has a goal, she's like, all right, I'm getting up earlier. I'm getting up early. I literally don't know when she sleeps. Because she has a goal. Because it means something to her. So if it means something to you, you'll get up earlier, stay up later. You'll send the invites on your lunch break instead of going to the break room. Whatever it is, you'll make it happen. So when people tell me they can't make it happen because of this, I'm like, There are women on the team who have it 17,000 times worse than you, and they're making it happen. So I just can't empathize with your excuses. And that's a problem of mine. I have no empathy. I'm working on it. But it's just like when you see somebody struggling and they still choose to walk through that fire, it's hard to listen to like, oh, I forgot there was a team call. That's weird. It's been the same time every day, every Monday for the last 4 years. You really shouldn't forget, right? So if you want something bad enough, you'll do it. If you want to be Emerald, you'll do it. You have tonight and tomorrow. We had a sneak peek tonight. Did you invite people to go? There's so much opportunity in this business, on this team. We're literally on one of the best teams in the entire network. Okay, like Trina isn't flashy, but everyone knows who she is. Because she has built this business with heart and integrity, and she's built one of the most successful teams in the entire company. And she's been here from the beginning, right? Like, you have so much opportunity. And I heard this the other day, someone was like, we're so poor because we're constantly passing over opportunities repeatedly. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. So you have $1 million business right here. Right here. $1 million business if you want it. If you just want to be $1,000 business, that's your decision, right? Nobody says you have to quit your job and become a millionaire with Beachbody. You could, you don't have to, right? I got fired from my job. They didn't give me the option to stay, so I had to do something, right? Okay. So, but you have $1 million opportunity on your hands. So whatever you're struggling with in your current life, Beachbody is most likely that solution for you, should you choose to use it. People are like, well, it's too hard. That's really hard, taking a picture of yourself and fucking putting it on Instagram. Really hard. I mean, there's people that like, save people's lives and run into burning buildings and, get shot at, but that's really hard. Okay. It's not hard. It's our ego that tells us it's hard. Right? Okay. So you choose your hard. If your current life is hard, use this to make it unhard. And of course, everything feels hard at first, but once you build, it's the same with your workouts. At first, you relied on motivation, but then it just became discipline. And it's the same with your business. And if you haven't got there, it's because you haven't done it enough days in a row to get there. But just like with your workouts, you have a plan. You have a program. You have something to follow. You have a plan for your business. It's called a tracker. Beachbody made you one. I've made you one. The internet's made you 101. There's a tracker. You just need to follow it. You have goals. You don't let the month end without those goals being met. Because every time you do, you put up that wall that now says, well, you can only ever hit SC2. Well, you can only ever sign people up with BOD. You put up the walls. You put up the bricks. You build the wall higher and higher every single month that you let those goals lapse and lapse and lapse. And the longer you let a goal lapse, the harder it becomes because of this. Because your brain will start to tell you, it's too hard. We missed it before. We're not going to get it. And what do you think that self-talk does? That makes you work less hard and less often than you should. But what if you just gave it everything you got? Because at the end of the day, nobody on this screen, nobody's lights are getting turned off if they don't have a paycheck from Beachbody deposited in their account on Thursday. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because you get to do this. You don't have to, you get to. Because there are some people out there who would kill to sign up, but they literally don't have $15.95 to pay each month to do this. So don't waste this opportunity. It's December 2nd. You got 3 promo codes today. If you have a controlled account, you got 6. If you have a second business center, you got 9. If you have more family members, you got a lot, right? So don't waste them. Use them. If you have a goal, figure out what it's going to take, reverse engineer when you want to hit it by, and start chipping away at the things you need to do. Maybe you're like, well, I don't have a problem inviting people, but you have a problem showing up on your social media. Start there. What can I do? You can look in the team page, because I literally wrote you out every day what you should be posting on your social media in your stories. All you have to do is check the little fucking box when you get it done. Like, everything you need, you already have. Everything you need to be successful, you already have in this business, you already have on this team, and you already have inside of you. You just need to choose to pull it out of you. And we encourage you to team up with somebody. They don't have to be your success partner. They can just be that accountability. Lauren texts me every single day. She's like, I'm sitting down to do my invites. I'm like, well, fuck, better do mine. Okay? Right? I don't want to disappoint
you. To think about. Right. I think it's important to think we're in December, and right now, like, we're telling our customers, don't wait till January. Like, yes, start thinking about where you want to be at the end of next year, what's going to be on your dream board, but don't wait until January 1st to start pumping that well. Like, choose your number of invites, team up with somebody, start moving towards it now, and think of the momentum that you're going to build. Because here's what I know about October through December. They can be really slow months, but if you're consistent and you keep showing up, guess who people are going to come to January 1 when they're finally ready? They're going to come to you. If you showed up, they're going to come to you. So that's another thing that motivates me, is I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to send out my 50 invites, because even if they're not ready right now, I know they're going to be ready. They're going to feel like crap in January after Christmas is over and they've not cared about their health and fitness. So I want to be the person that they come to. And if they tell me no, I tell them, hey, when you're ready, come to me. I run a new group every month. Like, I'm here waiting for you, ready to cheer you on, ready to be in your corner. So, and be really careful about who you choose to team up with. Danny and I are like polar opposites in so many ways, but we click, we work, and we both have really big dreams in this. And so it just works out well. I wouldn't want to team up with someone who is flaky or really inconsistent. I would want someone who would hold me accountable and wants to push as bad as I want to push. So be really smart about that. And I would team up with somebody, ask them like, hey, let's team up to the end of the year. You don't have to be success partners with them, but just like, hey, let's push to the finish line.
Yeah. And it can be someone that texts every single day. Lauren and I text every single day. Or it could be someone that you just check in once a week. Like, hey, what are your goals? Okay, these are my goals. And then at the end of the week, you send your goals. And if you missed them, you can say, okay, well, what happened? Why'd you miss those goals? What are your goals for the new week? You can decide. You can do Zooms. You can do whatever you want to do. Like that, but just somebody that's actually going to keep you to do the things that you said you wanted to do. Not somebody that, fizzles out really fast too, because then you're just going to fizzle out together. So choose somebody that you see going after big things or showing up consistently the way you want to, or achieving the way you want to achieve, kind of thing. Or that you feel is at, the same place in their business and is ready to move forward and actually hold each other accountable. I've seen people team up who are too similar, and then they both just fall by the wayside. So like you're saying, choose really wisely if you want to team up. But it's nice to have somebody to talk to be excited with, to vent to talk out feelings or talk about what your personal development, all those different things. It's nice to have someone recognize how you're feeling in the business. And you know what I mean? Because there is a lot of highs, but there's also a lot of lows, right? So yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. So, you know what I mean? Like, and what a great opportunity to make a new friend on the team. So it's always exciting. It's better to lean in and to feel you're a part of something and have that friend, right? It never feels good to be a lone ranger. And I've never seen anyone go on their own and be successful at this. So lean into the team, lean into the opportunities that you have, and make December a month to remember. Like Beachbody is handing you success on a silver platter with the $20 off the bar program. Like that's going to open the doors for a whole new audience of people who maybe they go to bar studios and they don't want to pay $150 a month anymore. Well, now they've got a world-renowned bar instructor, like she's known all over, worked at some of the top gyms and companies in the world, like Equinox. Like that's a $40,000 a year gym. Like that's crazy talk, right? Like that's like people's salary. How people going to the gym for 40 grand a year? Anyways, she's incredible. And, you know, there's so many amazing things happening right now. It doesn't even have to be Bar Blend. It could be anything, but you have those promo codes and you get more if you use them. So what a great thing to push for, because you have to use them by the 12th to help people get started. And maybe they don't want a challenge pack. Just meet them where they're at. How many Energize can you sell this month? How many $39 bots? How many people can you get started? What kind of fun idea can you come up with to invite people to, right? Like bar doesn't kick off till January 13th. So I was like, hey, let's do a sugar detox. Let's sell a bunch of 3-day refreshes and get people excited about kicking off January 1 to a new healthy thing. And then we'll lead them into bar. Use what you have at your disposal. Like Beachbody is giving you every possible way to be successful should you choose to, right? And it starts with us. It starts with us being proof that the products work and just taking care of yourself, because when you're doing your workouts and you're feeling good, that's going to translate into your business and into your personal life as well. So if you're feeling good in your workouts, you're going to want to better your business. You're going to want to move forward. How many customers start to feel and look amazing and turn into coaches because they want to pay that gift forward? Okay. So if you continue to do that same thing as a coach, show up for yourself in your own workouts, you're going to have a successful business as well, right? As long as you're willing to share and invite people to join you. Does anyone have a question? I have something. Can everyone share your Instagram? Yeah. Does anyone have questions, comments, concerns, thoughts?
Lauren, I think that was really cool to hear your statistics about how many people you reached out to, because I'm doing 25 a day right now, and I did my Facebook list and checking them off. So I have my names and I'm like putting circles around the ones that I have to go back with in like a month or whatever, or like hard no's that I'm like, don't mess with them again, type things. But it was interesting to hear you say how many, like, you just created some customers, but now you have this massive group of people that know you exist, where when they're just friends, unless they're following you, and a lot of times we don't ever come up on people's feeds, like now they know you exist in the world. And the thought of pumping the well, the thought of you doing that, and Danny and I say it all the time, the floodgates have to break. Like the more pressure you push on something, it's going to just collapse at some point. So I liked hearing that from not only Danny, because I hear it, you know, on the regular, we talk about it all the time, but to hear how much work you did put in, and it's still
totally. And I think it's you know, we can find ourselves complaining about like algorithms and, you know, people not seeing our posts, or, you know, not as many people are liking my posts, not as many people are viewing my stories. But you know what? My views and my stories have gone up since starting this. People are starting to watch. So it's all coming back. Like it's going to happen. And you just have to be consistent in every area so that when they are ready, you're still showing up and they can trust you and they know that you're going to be the person to support them through it.
So Stephanie asked, did you start going through your IG contacts? So when we started this, Lauren started on Instagram. She has a pretty big following, like 23,000 on Instagram. So she started going through her Instagram A through Z. And I started over at Facebook because I realized I spent the last 4.5 years building a huge following on Facebook of 3,400 people, and I don't have 3,400 customers, right? So I started going through my Facebook because like a lot of my following happened this year on Instagram. So they're more new. So I went over there because I'm like, I've built this following over the last 4.5 years. So that's like inviting people to your dinner party. And then as soon as they get there, you going outside. Right. So I wanted to go over there and start inviting. So I'm about halfway through my friends list on Facebook. And then I've kind of now switched where I'm doing like, I'll do one day of Facebook, one day of Instagram, just because I do have so much more success on Instagram. People are a lot nicer over there. But if you do have a big following, like, yeah, like Alex feels like her bread and butter is Facebook, right? And mine was for 3 years. And then literally just one day in October, 2 years ago, it switched. So over to Instagram, and now pretty much 99% of my business comes from Instagram. But
I will say, if you are just starting this and you like, chances are you probably haven't reached out and invited everyone in your warm market. If you haven't already done this, invite the people who are watching your stories, invite the people who are liking your posts. And if you've already done that, then move on going A to Z, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or alternating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you're a newer coach on here and maybe you haven't even done your commitment coming out as a coach post thing yet, or that's all you've done so far, you're just inviting like people who already like, know, and trust you, right? So kind of like your dirt list people. So if you were selling dirt, they'd buy it from you. So people who will support you no matter what kind of thing. So, and you're just simply saying, hey, I just signed up as a Beachbody coach. I'm really nervous and excited, but really nervous. I would love for you to do this with me. There's no like, I'm going to coach you and I'm going to help you do all this stuff and build $1 million business. Like, you don't have to promise anything. You just say, hey, do this with me. And I did that for 3.5 years before I ever said, I'm going to mentor you ever. I just said, do this with me. Do this with me. Do this with me. I literally signed up a Starbucks barista because I said, do this with me. Not even joking. That is 100% true story. Okay? Do this with me, right? Do this alongside me. Link arms with me. Like, let's go. Let's do it together. It's better to have buddies. The more the merrier. Girl gang, whatever. Do it together. Okay? So you don't have to, like, people are so worried, like, well, I can't coach anyone. I can't create a group. You don't need to. Just get people in the group. The group's already created. Okay, I got like 1 million of them. Just put them in a group. Just get people in the group and you cheer them on. That's it. So all you have to do is ask them to be in the group, put them in the group, and then cheer them on when they check in. Okay, it's very simple, but we overcomplicate it. And so we talk ourselves out of inviting because we don't know what to do if they actually say yes or if they respond, right? Everything is set up for you. You just need to put the pieces into place, right? You invite them, they say yes, you put them through share cart, get them in the group, you cheer them on. Wash, rinse, repeat. Okay? And then eventually you'll build the confidence, you'll build the customer base, start building a team. You can go off and run your own groups if you want to. If you don't, cool. I'm going to be running a group every single month. Just put people in it, right? So, but once you want to run your own groups, you can totally do that. But like I feel like lately all these new coaches are like, well, how do I make a group? Like, you don't need to make a group. You don't even have a customer. What are you making a group for? For who? For you? That's a lot of work. No, you don't need to do that. You just need to get people in the group. I got you. Okay. And then one day, if you want to do a group, like I have some coaches who did one group with me and they've been gone ever since. I have some coaches who've never left, right? It doesn't matter. There's a group for everyone. Just get people in the group. That's your job, to help people. You don't need to worry about Facebook groups and creating content and creating graphics. Like, that's a huge waste of your time. Your time is better spent connecting, engaging, and inviting people. Okay. Any comments, questions, concerns? You guys, you never have any questions. Well, can we give Lauren a big like whoop whoop for coming on our team call? It's really late where she is and her team, and say thank you so much for sharing with us. We love you. You're so awesome. I'm so excited to see where this takes all of us. So action item. Take what you learned today, digest it. Whatever your goal is in the business, assess it, and then figure out what's a daily invite goal that I can stick to, but that will also push me out of my comfort zone. So if you're like, I'm going to invite 3 people a day, I can't really think that that makes you that uncomfortable. Okay, so maybe let's start at 10, right? And then you get a couple weeks and you're like, man, I'm knocking out these 10 every single day. Like, ooh, let's bump it up from there, right? But you have to be inviting every single day. You have to be talking to people, because if you don't ASK, you don't GET, right? And you want to GET. You want to. I know it, okay? So pick a daily inviting goal that you can stick to, not one that you're going to do one day and then it's going to be so overwhelming to you that you don't do it again for 3 weeks. That's a recipe for disaster. Pick a daily invite goal that makes you a little uncomfortable, but that you can stick to, okay? So no less than 10. Let's challenge ourselves here, okay? Let's take a picture. Let me stop recording.